In this video, I will walk through everything you need to know about OpenArt. I start with account setup and pricing plans, then cover image generation and editing, including background changes, facial expressions, object removal, animation, and more. I also dive into video creation, which is generating from scratch, turning images into video, using elements, motion syncing, restyling, and other advanced tools. Next, I will explain how to create consistent characters, edit their poses, and manage them across projects. And then we'll cover generating audio and voices to bring your content to life.
Hi, this is my sample voice for this tutorial. I hope you found this helpful.
And finally, we will wrap up with the story feature showing how to create rich multi-scene narratives using your images, characters, and voiceovers. All right, so first thing that we need to do is to set up our account here in the website of OpenArt. You can use the link in the description in going here so that you could get bonuses affiliated with that link. So that is an affiliate link, and you could also use that to support our channel if you would want. And from here, you can now click here on sign in if you already have an account. If not, you can click here on sign up. So I'm just going to go for sign up. And from here, I can continue with my Google account, Discord, Twitter, or email address. And then once you are done in logging in with your account, is that you will now be prompted into the pricing plan. So it should be something like this. So basically is that if you only go for the free plan, it will not be enough because you will only have 40 one-time trial credits. So that is like just generating one photo, which is simply not enough because OpenArt has a vast of features. So if you would want to fully test out OpenArt for yourself, just to see if you would want to invest or use this for your content, is that you can go for essential and then you get 4K credits per month. This would be enough for you to test out all the features in here and see if it's actually fitting. So basically, let me just give you a general rundown on each plan. You can just go into the specifics by looking at it right here. But essentially, the free plan here is a free trial tier for testing premium features. It is great for exploring the platform before committing, but take note that this credit is very limited. And the essential is the creator focused plan with enough credits for regular image, video, and story generation. This is ideal for solo users building content consistently. And then next, we have advanced. So here, this is designed for high output creators who need bulk generation, advanced controls, and more flexibility. This is perfect for scaling workflows. And then we have infinite. So this is maxed out plan for studios or creators managing multiple projects. Best for nonstop production and large scale creative work with a massive 24K credits per month. And then we have the team plan at last. So this is built for collaborative teams. Credits are pooled, assets are shared, and roles are managed centrally. This is ideal for agencies or group creators. And next is that you can scroll down and then you'd be able to see that there is an optional add-on, which is extra credits. Right here, you can choose how much credits you'd want with the plan that you have chosen right there. And yeah, basically you could just subscribe to a paid plan first. And then now you could also see a more comprehensive comparison on each plan at the bottom. And from here, you should now have an idea on which plan you should get. And take note that it is so much better if you go for annual plan, as you would get a 50% off already compared to the monthly plan, wherein you would see an increase of price and you will not get 50% off. So annual plan would be the way to go if you would want to save as much money as possible. All right, so now we are done with the account setup. Now, let's now discuss the features here in OpenArt on what you could do. So first, we'll be going with image, and then video, and then the characters so that you could get consistent characters with your content in image and video, and then the other features like the story, audio, and many more. So let's go into image first. And from here, you would be able to see a bunch of tools that you could do with your image right here, like image upscale, train a model, bulk create, and many more right here. So you have all this power here in OpenArt. But the first thing that we would need to do is create an image so that we have something to work on. So we're going to click here on create image. So basically, this is where you'd be generating an image in here. This is where you'd be able to see your history of image that you have generated. And then from here is your settings that you could do with the prompt. So now let's get started right here. So basically in here is the styles. So you could save some preset styles right here. So for example, you have something you have some style that you would want to be consistently used among your generation. So in this way, you can click here on save current settings once you have set your settings in here, so that you could just select it right here and you don't have to manually choose the settings right here just to get the same effect. So you could just save that settings right here or style. You could also use one of the OpenArt styles right here. So there are a bunch. You could go here into view 100 more style presets, and then you could choose one of them right here. They also work quite well if that's what you want, if you don't want to create your own. And as for this one right here, we're just gonna go back since I don't want to do a style and I just want it to be custom made for this one. And next is that we have the model and character. So as for this one is that we already have a bunch of models right here. So this is a massive library of models, which is also one of the beauties of OpenArt, because you don't have to go from one platform to another just so that you could use different kinds of models, because not all platforms have this massive library of models that you could use in your AI generation. As you can see, we have Juggernaut right here, OpenArt DND, we have the latest Nano Banana, Sea Dream, which is great for ultra realism. And then we have many more right here. Actually, we could scroll all the way down, and as you can see, there are so many models that you could choose from right here, depending on the style that you are trying to create. So as for this one, I am just gonna go with the Nano Banana. So I have used Nano Banana because I would want to use a playful style with cute characters. So that would be great for Nano Banana. And from here, I'm just going to go and paste my prompt. So I already have my prompt in here. And then notice that we have auto enhance. So basically this would just enhance your prompt right here so that it would now be more appropriate and easier for the AI to understand on what you need. So basically this is useful if you are starting or creating your prompt from scratch. So you can quick enhance, customize your prompt, or you could go for image to prompt if you have an image and you just want to convert it into a prompt or replicate the style of that image. So this would be very useful. In my case, it is already done because I have already refined my prompt in here. I don't need auto enhance, but if you do, then you could just turn it on. And next is that we have the image guidance or omni reference right here. So as for this one, you will basically be blending up to 4 reference images into one output. So you could extract elements like pose, lighting, clothing, or background from each image. But as for this one, we'll be using that later on as we get into the in-depth details here into the characters. So I'm just going to skip that for now. And from here, I'm going to go into output size. And then you can just choose the size orientation that you want. So in my case, I'll just go for the default or the most popular one, square. And from here, you can go for the advanced settings. So you can already upscale it right here if you'd want. So in my case, I don't want it to upscale yet. So I'm just leaving it B. And then the number of images right here, you could go for how many you'd want. So in my case, I'll just go for 3. And take note that it would heavily impact your credit right here on how much it would be consumed when you go click here on create. So be mindful of the credit spending in here because OpenArt is a credit-based platform. So credit spending is essential. If you run out of credits, then you wouldn't be able to use the features in here. So make sure to spend wisely. I'm going to click here on create. And as you can see, it's now loading in here with the turbo on. So it should be fast. So let's wait for it. And then we should have our results. All right, so now here are our results. As you can see, the character is very cute, and I think Nano Banana did a great job with this. this one is the second one, and this one is the third one. So in my opinion, I think I like the second one the most right here. So I'm just gonna work with this image right here. So when you click on the image right here, you would now have these options. So we have this one's right here at the top. So you could inpaint, remove, expand, stylize, background, face, or image to video. So we'll be discussing each one of this so that I could show you on how powerful these features are. And then we have the chat to edit right here. So we'll be using that later on also. And basically this is where you could download the image right here if you're now ready to use it or you're satisfied with the output already. And then we have the move to albums, publish. You could also share this publicly. And then this is where you can see the generation details and then where you could upscale that. So we'll be using this last. So now let's go into Inpaint. So we're going to click on Inpaint, and basically in here, the Inpaint would be able to add elements here into your image. So let's say that I would want to add a unicorn in the background. So you could just now shade the part of your image wherein you would want to put the object that you'd want to add. So for example, I would want it right here. So I'm just going to go and shade that right there. And I would want to do it like just like that. And now this is the shaded region, so the element will be added right there. And then go here into prompt. So just type what you'd want to be added. Let's say a unicorn right there, and it's a very simple one. You could be more specific if you'd want. You could also go for image guidance and show AI what you'd like to put in here or fill in. If you have some reference, you could click here and upload your image. Next is that with the creativity level, so you could choose how much of strictness would be applied into your reference right here, if how much the AI should follow the reference. And then we have the model, so you could go for quick, premium, or advanced. So I just typically go for premium, though it would cost more credits for most photos, but I think it is very worth it because I like the results. And next is the advanced settings. So we have the prompt adherence. So how much should the AI follow your prompt in here? So you could go very strict if you'd want the slider to go up a lot. So in my case, I just go for this one right here, not too strict because it is a very generic prompt. And then the steps in here. So basically this is how long AI runs before generating the final image. So the higher is the better quality that you would get. But for most cases, it's not really necessary to mess up with the steps unless your image is complex or you really need it to be on the highest quality. So I'm just going to go for 2 right here in the number of images. I'm going to click here on create. And then I should now be seeing my unicorn in a bit. As you can see, it's now loading. All right, so now here are the results. So this is the first one. As you can see, we now have a unicorn right here in our shaded region. And same goes for this one. So yeah, this is basically Inpaint. You could easily manipulate your AI generation right here. And the good thing is it's also part of openart, so you don't have to switch into another platform, which I really like because switching to another platform is just a nightmare for time and for money. So now let's go back and let's test another one out. So basically, we'll just go here into the assets right here. So we should see all of our generations in here. We could go back in here into our photo and let's test out the next one, which is remove. So with this one right here, from the word itself, remove, you can remove specific elements right here in your image. So if there's something wrong with your image or something that you don't like, you can just simply shade it. For example, I would want to remove this heart right here. So I could just shade that and now it's loading. And then after it's done, the heart should now be gone in that shaded region. So we're currently in quick erase and it's good for something really simple. As you can see, the heart is now gone and it's very clean. You could also use magic erase version if it is a much more complex object in your image. And then you could go for the creativity level. And this is only available for the premium feature, of course. So yeah, that is basically remove. It's a very simple tool, but it is very effective. Next up is that we have expand. So you can click on that and then it will now be prompted here into the editor once again. And then you can see this green line. So that is how much you're expanding the image. So you can control that right here on the right side. You could go for the width. You could increase the height. And as you can see, it's now getting increased. You could increase it how much you'd like, adjust it. And then you could also go for the prompt on what you expect on the overall expanded image or what you would want to happen. So in my case, I'll just be going with this. I don't want any prompt. I just want it to be expanded and just follow the current style right here. So that's it. And then from here, you could also go for the custom aspect ratio. You could go for a square, make it a cinema if you'd want. And then you could see the credits right here on how much will be spent. So it would vary depending on the number of images also. So I'm just going to go with 2 just to save some credits and click on create. And then it will now be loading and it's currently right here. So in a bit, we will now have our brand new expanded image right here on the right side. All right, so now here are our results. So we have the first one right here. As you can see, the expansion is so smooth and the character here is essentially the same, still looks good. And yeah, I think I really liked it overall. And then the second one would be this one right here. So it's kind of a different style in here, as you could see. So you could choose which one you'd want. And if you're not satisfied with the 2 of them, you could always generate 4 more right here, or go back into the settings and revise the settings right here if there's something that you don't like, and so on. But yeah, essentially, this is it for the expander here in OpenArt. All right, so now let's go into Stylize. And basically with this one right here in the editor, we will now be able to copy the style of our reference image into our current image, which is something like this, as you can see. And now you could upload your reference image right here that you would want to copy the style and paste it into your image. I'm just going to go here and choose one of these ready-made styles right here from OpenArt. So I could just choose which one I like. So as for this one, I'm just going to go for this one right here. I would want the floral pastel. So essentially, same one as this one right here. So I would want to copy the style and then the number of images here again. And you also have the style strength on how much strength or how much style you would want to be applied here into your image. And you also have the prompt right here if you have any specifications that you would want to be followed. So here in the number of images, I'm just going to stick with 3 this time right here. I'm going to go for 3 and click on create. And now it will now generate our results. All right, so now here we have it. So this is the first image right here. As you can see, it copied the style of the reference image right here with all of these colors. And we have our second image, which is this one. And the third image is this one. So yeah, it would depend on which one you'd like, but essentially this is it for Stylize, which is simply copying the style and pasting it into the current image. Now, what if we would want to change the background? So we can just go here into background, and then now we'll be prompted here into the editor once again, and it's now currently detecting our background. And after that, we will now be able to put in a prompt on what background we'd want. And you can see here that the background is now shaded except for this object. So you want to make sure that it is accurately shaded in here, and you don't want your subject to be shaded because it would also affect the subject if that's the case. Now, if there are some corrections that you would want to be made with the shaded region, like for say something just overlapped in your subject, just like that, so you don't want this to happen, you could go here into the minus right here under manual brush, and then you could just go and remove that just like that. And then you could always zoom in by pressing Control and then the scroll wheel, and then you'd be able to see that we still have that. So I'm just going to go here into add. And then I'm just going to refine that so I would have better results. So I could just do it just like that. And there it is. I think I'm satisfied with that. So now I'm going to go back. And then you could also go click here on click area if you'd want the AI to do the work for you. but in my case, I'm just satisfied with this result. So now let's go proceed into going here into change background. You could also go for the remove background, by the way, if you just want to get a transparent background. But in my case, I'll just go here, describe the new background. So I would want it to be in a neon lit sci-fi alley street, something like that. And then you can go for the negative prompt. So if there are anything that you don't want to appear in your image, you can put it right here. You can go for image guidance again. So this is basically the reference image that if you'd want a reference image for your background. And then the advanced settings, so you could match your original image style. So I would want this to be checked. And then the number of images, I'll just stick with 3 and click on create. All right, so now here we have it. Here we have our first image with the sci-fi neon lit alley right here. And we have the second one, which is this one, while still following the image style that we have on our original version. So yeah, this is it for the change background. I think it has worked effectively and it's very clean. I could not see any errors right here. So that is it for the change background. Now, another great feature is that you could now control the expressions of your character's face. You could just click here on face icon right here, and we will now be prompted into the editor once again. And now in here, we have our settings on the right side, and you could now choose a preset. So you could see some various preset emotions right here that you could use. Let's go for happy. And then it will now load, and it's currently applying that preset, and it has automatically set the settings right here for you. But if you're not satisfied with the default result, you could always manually adjust the settings right here. So we'll be adjusting it when this is done. As you can see, it is now happy with a smile. And then we could go here into smile and the frown to laugh. Then the mouth open, we could make it smaller. So let's make the mouth opening smaller right here. So just like that. And I have adjusted that, and now it's automatically applying it. And we should now be able to see that the mouth is now much smaller, as you can see right there. And then we could go here for the blink. So it's currently going into open. We could make it a bit more into closed. And then we should now see the eyes more closed. So yeah, you could just go and explore each one of this settings right here. You could be more specific with the expression that you're trying to make with your character, which makes it a lot more powerful and flexible. But as you can see, it just destroyed the image right here. So be very careful when adjusting it. So I suggest that you just stick with the preset right here because they are already set for you to get the best results. Next is that we have image to video. So if you want this image to be animated, then you can click here. And basically we'll be prompted in here into the video section now. So I'm just going to go and provide a detailed description of the actions unfolding in the scene. So I just would want to, the boy is jumping out of happiness. Right there. So it's a very simple one right here. You could be very specific with the action, which is jumping in this case. You could go for auto sound if you'd want to apply some sounds. You could also go for auto speech if there are speech would be involved in the image or in the video that is the result. So if you'd want that, you could turn that on. In my case, I don't want to. And we have the settings in here. You can go for the duration, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then the quality mode, you have the 720 or 1080p. And then negative prompt if there are some exclusions that you don't want, or that you, if there are some objects or some elements that you don't want to be included into your video. So I'm now done, and it's costing me 110 credits, which is quite expensive. I'm going to click on create, and it's now creating it, and now it's done. Let's preview it. And here we have it. As you can see, the boy is happy and it's smiling. So it's happy. So it's jumping out of happiness. And I think I'm very satisfied with the result. I really, really like it. And from here, we can click here on download. So the original version will be downloaded. And then you can also reuse the settings, grab a frame of the video, and many more, and even upscale it. But that's for another topic because it's in the video section. So that's it for the image to video. Next is that we're going to use a different image. And this time we're going to go into chat to edit. We can click on that. And then from here, basically, you just need to chat with the AI in here on what you would like to be edited in your photo. So you don't need any editing skills to make this work. Like for example, I would want the dominant color to be red. So let's say I want you to change the dominant color on this subject to red from blue, something like that. And now it's currently working on it, and let's see the results. So I expect that I should see the red now that's glowing from the subject instead of blue. And here we have it. As you can see, it has now edited it, but there's still some errors right here. So the blue from the right sword of the character is still not red. Change that, including the glow, to red. And let's see if it would be able to fix this one right here. Because as for this one, it looks really good. And as you can see, it is now just superb, and it's that easy, no editing skills needed. And if you do this manually in Photoshop, it should take you a long time just to even learn on how you'd be able to change that accurately, just like this. So yeah, this is a very powerful tool, especially if you don't have any editing background. And not just that, if you'd want to change the whole art style, then you could definitely do that. You could go here into Character Lab at the bottom. And from here, you can now change into different art styles. You could go here into 41 more art styles to have a more or a larger variety of styles that you could choose from. Let's say I would want it to be an action figure. I could go here into action figure, click on apply, and then a prompt right here or a chat will automatically be sent to the AI. And then we should now see it right here converted into that style. As you can see, I now have it right here, and we have that red sword right here that we have just edited. And now we have the face, we don't have the mask. So as for that one, you could now again chat the AI that you would like to keep the mask from this character right here and not have the face. You could also do that. But yeah, you could just chat it, whatever it is that you would want to see. And now lastly is that you could also use images from the outside of OpenArt. Let's say that you have some image that you have in your gallery, not from OpenArt, that you would like to edit. You could just click here on upload button right here or new image. And from here, you could upload your own image and edit it right here. So let's say this one right here, this logo that we have, I could say that I'm just going to go for change the color into blue right there, and then it will now be changed. As you can see, it would work also even if the image is not from OpenArt, which makes it so much more powerful, as you can see right here. And then once you're done, you could always download it now, or you could also upscale it if it's not enough for you. So yeah, this is it for the chat to edit, which is a very powerful feature here in OpenArt, one of my favorites. And now, last one that we're going to discuss here in the image features. There are a ton more, but as for now, this will be the last one, which is the upscale right here on the bottom right. So you could go for the choose upscale mode. You could go for a 2x, 2x plus face, 4x, 4x plus place, and 4x plus anime, depending on which one would be the most appropriate for your image right here. So you could just choose one, or you could also go for ultimate upscale right here. So if you'd want the best upscale possible, you could go here. You could go for upscale mode, precise, refined, or creative upscale. So the precise one preserves original styles while enhancing the clarity and detail. And then the refined one adds subtle AI-generated enhancements for richer textures and a polished, refined, high-quality look. So if you'd want the most original upscale possible, you could go for the precise one. And then if you'd want something or a little bit of AI improvements, you can go for refined. But if you would want more AI improvements, you can go for creative upscale, as this would add significant details and changes. And you have the slider right here to control how much enhancement will be done by AI. So in my case, I'll just go for precise upscale. I can go for ultra so that it will be upscaled a lot. And here we have it. We now have our upscaled right here once it's now done processing. And now here's the result. We can now click on that and we will now be able to see the upscaled version, and we can move the slider in here and we'd now be able to see how much more HD it is. So from here, I can go for the full view, and as you can see, it is now much sharper than before. And then you'd be able to see here on the generation details, the version is ultra, the height and the width, so basically like 4K, as you can see right here. And now you could download it if you would want to, or you could also use one of this right here again if you wish. So that's it on upscale. All right, we are now done with the images. Now we're gonna go here into the video on what we could do here with OpenArt in creating our own AI videos. From here, we're just gonna go start with the most basic one, text to video. So let's create our video right here. So we have something to work with. And from here, you can now select your model. So Kling is one of the cheapest options out there. So if you are trying to save credits, you can go for Kling. Right? It does save you a lot of credits, but still it's in high quality. So I think it's still worth it if you don't lean onto quality that much, especially if you're just uploading and you just want 1080p, then Kling is more than enough. And we have more right here. We have the Sea Dance, which is one of the best. We have Sora 2, Veo 3, which is right here, the best one for me, in my opinion. And from here, we're just going to use this for this video. And as you can see, how much credits will be charged right here. It's 800 already. And when we're going to Kling 2.5, it's only 100. See the difference? So that's the value of changing your models here accordingly based on your credit budget. So we're just going to go into Veo 3. Let's try it out. And now I'm just going to go and put in my text in here. So I just pasted that right here. You could also get this from ChatGPT if that's what you want, or you could just go and put in the bare words out of your thoughts and put it here, and then you could just use auto enhance. That could also work, but in my case this is already refined, so again I'm not using auto enhance. So right there, I have now pasted that, and now I can go here into settings. We could go for version 3.1 or 3.0 depending on which one you'd like. I'm just going to go for the 3.1, and then the audio, I would want to turn it on. Resolution is 1080p. Aspect ratio is, I'm going to go for 16:9 right here. And then the video mode is normal. Right here, as you can see, it will now be 1500 credits. So this would greatly affect that. I'm just going to go with fast because that is too big and I only have 5K. So I'm going to click here on create. Now it's generating that. We just need to wait because it might take some time because this is a video. Compared to images, this will take at least maybe 30 seconds or a minute. And now here's the result with the audio and video and with the settings. So that's it, and we can also upscale our video if you'd like to use this in a professional video and you would need higher resolutions. You can click here on video upscale, but if you're just settling for social media, then I think the default one is already pretty good. Here in resolution, I can make it into 4K, and then frame interpolation, we could now convert it into 120 FPS. If you'd like to make it into a slow motion in post so that you'd have a smoother footage. And click here on enhance video, and after that you should now just wait and it should now be upscaled. It's that simple. Next one that we have is that we could go into image to video. And from here, we can now upload an image right here, or you could get one frame from the generation history, which is this one right here. So we have two videos available. Let's say I would want to get a video from this footage right here. And from here, you could now click on grab frame to video. You could go for the grab in frame, or you can grab the last frame. Let's go grab in a frame and select a frame from this video right here. So it's currently loading. Let's wait for that. And from here, it should now load, and we'll be able to scroll through and get the frame that we want. Let's say I would want that. I think that's cute. So I'm going to click here on make video, and it will now be grabbed, as you can see right here. And now you can provide a detailed description of the actions unfolding in the scene. So I would want it to jump, happy, jump 3 times, and then run to the back happily. Something like that. I think I'm just gonna go to the right side. I think that's better. And then now you can go for auto sound right here if you'd want sound to be included. And then auto speech is not necessary because it doesn't have any speech. And then here in settings, you could go for the duration. You could go for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and then the resolution. I'm just going to go for 5 and then negative prompt if you would want. And I think I'm satisfied with this. I just don't want the speech, and click on create. And then it should now be processed right here. All right, it is now done. Now let's view it. And yeah, here is the result. I think the video is great, but the audio, I don't really like it. That is why I tend to just turn off the auto sound and basically the audio settings to be included in the generation, because I just like to do it in post and put in the audio myself. But yeah, this is the result right here. The video is super great. It's exactly what I wanted. So it's hopping 3 times and then running to the right side with this smile on the face. So that's it for the image to video. And now next one that we have is elements to video. So essentially you will be putting in up to 7 images in here as your elements, and then you would now provide a prompt. And then AI would now mix it all up into one video, including your prompt. So it's really that simple. So here in the elements, I'm just going to go and add my images right here. You can upload from your device or from your history here in openart. I'm just going to use history. And from here, I have this. And I would want to use this one right here. And now I have my 2 images. You can go up to 7 if you want. I only need 2. And basically from here, I have this dark hedge highway and then this big scary dog. So I'm just going to go and put in the prompt right here. So I want the dog to slowly walk into the camera as from the highway based on the background, which is the first photo. Something like this. This kind of prompt could also work, and you could be more specific if you'd want to, but I'm just going to go with something simple. And here we have the sound and speech options. I don't want that, so I'm just going to go and not enable it. Here in the settings, you could choose the aspect ratio. So next is the model right here. By the way, it is also very essential because it could dictate the credit spending and then also the quality. VO3 is the best in my opinion, but it just is so expensive. It's 1,500 credits, and it's not just worth it for this one right here. I just want something good for social media, and I think Video Q1 and Kling is already a good enough choice. So I'm just going to go here, and now I'm going to go and click on create, and let's see what it got for us. And now here's the result. As you can see, we now have this dog slowly walking towards the camera, just as I have specified right here. And it's in a highway, which is from the first photo with the dark hedge trees. It's not exactly dark hedge trees, but yeah, it's similar, so it's fine. And yeah, that's the thing, because we just used the cheap model, so it's not really that accurate to the reference that we have provided, but I think it's already pretty good. I could already use this for social media, And that's the point here. I saved a ton of credits and I got a good footage. So that's it. So it would really depend on your budget. You can add more of this reference image if you'd want a more accurate depiction of your references right here in the video. But yeah, that is essentially it for elements to video. And now let's go here into add audio to video. And from here, the first thing that we would need to do is to drag and drop a video right here, as our original video can go for upload from my device or history here in OpenArt. And we can only go for under 60 seconds. I'm going to go for history and select this one right here. So basically, this is the video for reference. So that's it. We're going to add a sound into this. And basically, you want to go for auto sound for that, since there is no speech involved right here, because of course, that's a dog. And from here, go into auto sound. Let's say I want to go for a dog growl as it approaches the camera. Dog scary growl, I think, would be more accurate. And then you could also keep the original sound of the video if you'd want. So in my case, I don't want that, so I'm just gonna go and not check this and make sure it's enabled. And from here, you can now click here on create, and then it will now load. Now, what if you have a talking head video just like this one? We could also do that right here. We're gonna go click here in history again and upload it from here in my history while we're waiting for this. And from here, we're going to go for auto speech. However, if you do have an MP3 file of the audio, you could upload it right here in the lip sync, and then the AI would sync the lips or lip sync it for you based on your audio file. In my case, I'll just go for auto speech. So it will now be based on my text. So let's say that I would want her to say, hi, this is my sample lip sync for this open art video. I hope you like it. I hope you like it. And as you can see, there is a limit in here, so I'm just gonna go for thank you instead. Thank you. And I'm gonna go for select sound, and then you can choose one of the voices right here that you can use from 11 Labs. In my case, I'll just go for heart. And then speed is normal. I don't want it to be slow down or fast. I'm going to click here and create, and it's now generating. Now let's view the first one with the sound effects or the auto sound that we did. And so that's from the auto sound. And now let's hear this one right here from the auto switch that we just did.
This is my sample lip sync for this OpenArt video. Thank you. Hi, this is my sample lip sync for this OpenArt video. Thank you.
And yeah, I think that is quite good. It's just that the original video has this lady already speaking. That is why at the end, even though there is no audio yet, it's still speaking. So I think it would be better if you go put in a video right here wherein the subject is not speaking, and basically just go and put the speech right here, and then AI would be the one to lip sync it right here so that it would be more accurate. So yeah, this is it for the add audio to video feature. All right, up next is we have the lip sync video. In here is that the first thing you want to do is go here and select your model, as this is very important for the quality and the credit spending. So as for me, I'll just go into Kling right here so that it's cheap. But if you'd want the best quality, I suggest going for OmniHuman 1.5. Just gonna go for Kling, and from here you can choose your character. You can upload your video, image, or character right here from your OpenArt account, or you could try one of these community characters. I'm just gonna try one of them right here, specifically this one. And from here, what will they say? So you can now upload your audio file. In my case, I'll just record it right now. So from here, this is my sample recording for this OpenArt sample right there, and click on confirm. And it's currently uploading my recording right here, and now I just need to click on create, and now it will now lip sync this audio into the video itself. So let's see how it, and now here's the result. So let's view it. This is my sample recording for this OpenArt sample. So yeah, I think the lip sync is quite accurate with the lip movements. It's just that I think personally the voice didn't fit the character, but yeah, that's my fault for choosing this character right here. But I think overall the lip sync aspect is pretty great. Next up is that we have the video upscale. So we have already done this. You can now drag and drop your video right here. So I'm just gonna select one from history, and let's say I would want to upscale this one right here. Click on confirm, and then you can choose the resolution, let's say 4K, and then the time interpolation or the FPS, you can select 120, for example, if you'd want it to be in the highest frame rate, and then click on enhanced video. Just take note that the credit spending right here is high if you select the highest quality possible. Just click on enhanced video, and now your video will be upscaled according to the settings that you chose in here. And now here we are in the motion sync video. And from here, the first thing that we want to do is go here into the selection of models. And you want to use OpenArt Motion for stylized control and character-driven animation, and Runway Act 2 for high fidelity motion realism and fast video prototyping. So it depends which one you want. For this video, I'm just going to use motion, and here you want to select your main image or main character right here. I'm going to go for select image and go into my history, and I would want to choose this as my character. Click on confirm, and then from here, what to keep in this image, I'm just going to go for the body, and I want to change the environment, and from here I can go for add expression and motion reference. Click here on select video, and then from here I'm going to go for my history again, and I would want this one right here, right there, and there it is. And from here, you can go for the resolution. I'll just go for a 720p since this is just an example. And for the prompt, right here, you can describe how the subject should move. So by default, it would just follow the actions in the video, which is what I want. And if you have some other things that you would like to see here in the video result, then you can just put it right here. As for me, I'm fine with the default one. And now I'm just going to click on create. And let's see what this would get us. Alright, so now here we have our result. So this is the reference video right here, which is where we get the motion from, and this is the reference image. Now let's see the result. There we have it, and as you can see, it is now well blended, and we could see some more details in here. And yeah, that is basically it for the motion sync video. And our last one that we have right here on this menu is we have the Restyle video. So we can choose one of these videos that we have right here, or you could upload it directly from your computer. In my case, I'll just go from my history, and let's say that I just want to go for this one. Click on confirm and choose the style. Now choose the new style of the video right here. So let's say that I would want to go into the blocky Lego design. So I think I'm interested with that. I'm just going to choose that, but you also have more styles to choose from right here if that is what you want. I'm just going to go with 720p right here. And now I can just easily click on create and wait for it to finish the processing. Alright, so now here is the result. Let's view it. As you can see, it is now in Lego style. And yeah, I think it's quite good. We have now that block and the Lego hands, classic one. And yeah, this is it for this video right here with the blocky Lego design on Restyle video. Last one that I want to show you here in the video section is, let's go back in here and then go into the video editor, because this is also really useful for you if you're editing videos here in OpenArt, and you will be prompted here a lot of times. So you can see we have the storyboard right here, and you could use your image as the first frame, image as a reference, or you could upload your own assets to get started. And here in your timeline is essentially just like any other editor platform. You have your timeline in here. You want to provide your video, and this is basically where you can preview it. So you can click here and add. You can add again from history right here. So let's do it and add our Lego video right here. It's currently uploading. And from here, you can now drag that here into your timeline. And as you can see, we can now edit it right here. We can trim that. and basically any basic features the editor uh, has. You can go for the video speed, video volume, and many more. And then you can click here on export once you're done. And it would also cost you just a bit of credits right here. Export and download. You can remove the watermark if you have the premium subscription, and so on. So yeah, that is basically it. You can just feel free to use this, and you have a lot of features in here that you could use so that you can just do it here in OpenArt and not have to go into another platform, because OpenArt is basically an all-in-one. Alright, so now let's move on into the character section. And from here, the first thing that we will do is to create a character. And from here, we can now start with 4+ images. So this is the best one, as this would get you the most accurate depiction of your character. You could also go for 1 image if you only have one, or if you don't have an image, you could always start with the description. So if you press this, you will now be able to upload it right here, at least 4 images, and then you can go for name. In here, you can start with 1 image and then just upload an image, and then again, name. You can go for description also, name, and then describe your character, and then the style, you can choose that right here: 3D, anime, photorealistic, digital art, and many more. You also have the option to go here into character library and choose one of these characters right here to use in creating your own content. So you can click here and show all characters, and there are a lot more right here. And I also recommend this as they are already polished and they work really great. So as for this one, I'm just going to go up and I'm going to choose this one right here, Tatsumaki, because I like One Punch Man. And from here, I have now chosen Tatsumaki. And from here, you can now use it with the prompt and reference, post a character, and place a character in image. So now let me show you how each one works. Let's go with prompt and reference first. And from here at Tatsumaki, because this is the character that we have right here, as you can see. And then from here, we can go for Tatsumaki is, let's say, is cooking a meal at the kitchen. Let's say something like that. And then it's very simple first. So here in the prompt adherence, I don't want this to be too high of a value, because the higher the value, the more strict it is into following the prompt. Since my prompt is a generic, I just want it low so that I could allow the AI to get some creativity in it. And here in the character settings, we have the weight. So right here, so you could control the weight of Tatsumaki. So I'll just keep it at default at 0.8 and keep the clothes the same. So I'm gonna go and enable that, because that is an iconic clothes for Tatsumaki. And then we have the image guidance. So we have image to image. So basically, image to image uses a full reference image to guide style, color, and structure. So this is best if you're trying to recreate or transforming an existing image with your prompt. You could just upload that image right here, and then it would now be the reference image for image to image. And then you could also slide the creativity level right here. But as for this one, I'm just gonna skip this because I don't want to use that. I want to use the post reference instead. So I can click here on the open post editor. And now you could just simply edit the pose of your model or your character. So as for this one, I'm just going to go for the base here first. So I'm going to go for a female short, because Tatsumaki is a short character. So it's important that you also choose the correct model right here. And then next is that I can now rotate the camera. As you can see right here, I could just drag here in the environment, and then I could rotate the camera as I please. And then notice that there is a color coding. So yellow for its left arm, and then this purple ones are for the right arm, and red is for the neck or head. And then we have the central balance for the character here with the cyan, and then we have the other colors as you could follow. So from here, we can now edit this. Let's go for the head right here. We could rotate that, as you could see. Let's say something like that. As you can see, it's bended now. I don't want that, so I'm just gonna go and bring it back with the undo and redo button right here. And take note, we also have some preset poses right here, so that you will not find it so hard. We have this one right here. Let's say, let's go for something funny right here. So I think I'm gonna go for this one. Yeah, I think I like this right there. So now we can just edit this, and then we're gonna zoom out by going for the scroll wheel, just like that. And then now is that I can just go and rotate the head right here. So I'm gonna click on the red dot, and from here I'm gonna go for the axis right here, and I'm just gonna go and do it like that. So yeah, just like that. And then you could also go for the arm right here. So I could make it like that. That's it. And if you find it hard to click the dots, you can just rotate your camera perspective first, and then you could also zoom in to see it even clearer. And then once you're done, you're satisfied with the pose, you can click here on Update Pose, and it will now be saved. And next, we have the composition reference. So this one copies the layout and spatial arrangement from a reference image. So as for this example, I don't need to use this because I would want the AI to decide for that. And then we have the sketch reference. So basically, this uses a rough drawing or outline to guide structure. So if you have some sketches of your character, you can upload it right here. This is great for turning hand-drawn ideas into polished AI-generated art. Next is that we have the output size right here. So we can choose the aspect ratio. I'm just going to stick with a landscape. And the advanced settings, we have the upscale. So you could choose the scale right here, depending on what you want. So I'm just going to stick with the default one. And the number of images, let's say I'm going to go for, yeah, just 2. And click on create. And let's see what it got for us. All right, so now here are the results. So let's view it. So this is the first one. As you can see, it has the same exact pose as we have set for the post reference. All right, as you can see right here, but the overall image right here is kind of a mess. As you can see, it's cooking, but yeah, it's weird. And then right here is the second one. I'm just gonna undo that right here. And this one is the second one. So yeah, different art style now. So yeah, I think this one is better. And I think we could get a better prompt so that it would be more specific and the output would be more cohesive. But yeah, this is basically it in creating your own image with the certain character. Now let's go back here into the character section. And this time, let's start with our own character. So I'm just going to go with start with one image and then upload an image right here from my history. And I already have one. I would want to use this. Click on confirm and then name it. So let's say sample number 1. And click on create character. Or I'm just going to go for sample actually. Right there, it's now creating the model, so let's just wait for that. Alright, it is now done loading, and now we have this character under my characters in here. That means when we go into generating our content, we can now use this character to create consistent character among our prompt or generation. So let's go here in image, for example, and then now create an image. And now we could go here into model or character, click on switch, and go into my characters, and then we could select this, and then from here we'll be prompted here again into prompt and reference, post your character, basically the same thing earlier. So we have already done the prompt and reference, and then the post your character, we have already done that, basically the same thing earlier. Now let's just go for the place character in an image. Now I'm going to click here on place your character and just choose the area for the character. So I'm just going to choose this one, for example. And now we can choose the part where we would want our character to be placed into. So I just want it here in this like light right here. So I'm just going to put it there. So maybe something like that would be great right there. And now I can click on save placement. And now as you can see, it's right there. So now from here, I could go for the prompt. So let's say at sample, or our character is let's say, yeah, let's just go for classic playing a guitar, just for an example. And then you could also enhance the prompt if you'd want. Prompt adherence, let's just go for 30 for this one, or 31. Character settings, let's go for the weight. Yeah, just keep it default, and then the clothes are the same. Advanced settings in here, we have the steps, so I don't want it to be too high. And number of images is 2, so everything looks good. Now I'm just gonna go and generate it, and let's see what it has for us. All right, it is now done. Now let's view it. This is the first image right here. As you can see, it is now there, and it's really cute. And yeah, I really like it. But I think it would be nice if it could change the clothes, and it's currently playing the guitar just like that. And let's see, let's go for full screen. And here it is. As you can see, I think it would be better if the clothes were green though. So I'm just gonna go here into turning off and keep clothes the same. Clothes are clothes color is green. Say something like that and generate it again. And now here is the result, and I think this is just much better. So yeah, that is basically it for everything here in the character. And another note is that it also has the lip sync character. So basically the same thing that we did earlier with the lip sync character that we did. So now we can just select our character now because we have created one. Choose that and then just put in the audio file in here, and it will now be lip synced just like before with our example. Now it's time to go into the audio section. Now in here, we can now create our own voiceover. So here we can now select the model of 11 labs that we would want to use. Let's say I'm just going to go for multilingual V2. And now you can type in the script right here. So let's say, hi, this is my sample voice for this tutorial. I hope you found this helpful. Something like that for an example. And here in the voice, you can now choose the voice among the vast library of 11 labs in here. So basically, you could also play the voices right here just so that you can get a preview on the voice.
Nature is a mutable cloud, which is always and never the same.
And yeah, I think I'm just going to go with something different right here. Let's say Paul.
If you do what you've always done,
I don't like it. Let's go for Drew.
I believe that we are fundamental.
And I think I like it. So I'm just going to go for Drew. And then from here, we can now go for the voice control, the stability of the voice, similarity boost, style exaggeration, and the speed. So these are a whole other topic right here. But essentially, you could see the preview on what they mean right here. So you could just drag the slider in here. You could just customize the voice according to what you'd want. And I just want to bump up the style exaggeration so that it will not be too monotonous with the stability. So I'm just going to lower it by 0.4. And the speed is normal right here. So now I'm going to click on create. And now in here, let's hear it.
Hi, this is my sample voice for this tutorial. I hope you found this helpful.
So yeah, I think I like it just as I expected with the settings right here. So yeah, you could just mess with the settings in here and see what you'd like. So that's it for the create voiceover. Now let's go into voice clone. So in here, you can now add a voice reference. So in here, you could just go for record a reference right here if you would want. So let's say that I would want to record my own voice. So I'm going to click on record reference and let's say that, hi, this is my sample voice for this tutorial. There it is, very simple. Click on confirm. It's now uploading. Now you can enter the voiceover script. Now I'm going to go and put in a whole new other script. So let's say that this is my copied voice. Why are you copying my voice? Something like that. And next is the set emotion control. So based on my script, it's very angry. So I would want to bump up the angry right here. So total emotion values right there. And then the hate, I would want to bump it up also. I wouldn't be happy about this. I would the sadness. So let's say just a bit. The fear, none, low, neutral, surprise, and yeah, I just want to bump it up a bit right there. So yeah, basically you can just set your emotions in here and click on create once you are done, and then it will now be generated in here in a bit. Wait for it. All right, so now here's the result.
This is my copied voice. Why are you copying my voice?
So yeah, you could already hear the emotions that we have set right here, which is angry. That is very angry. It is shouting. So yeah, I think we have pretty much achieved the emotion right here. But in judgment, in terms of the similarity of the voice that I have uploaded right here, I think it's like 80% accurate. I would say. So yeah, overall, I think this one is a pretty good one, and I think it's a bit expensive, which is 80, and this is only a very short duration. And lastly is the My Audios right here is where you'd be able to see all the audios that you have generated here in OpenArt. And now the last one will be the story feature, wherein you would now be able to build music videos, explainer video, character vlog, and ASMR video very easily. And you could also do it manually by building a storyboard and editor right here if that's what you want. So let me explain that first. Go here into build a storyboard, and this is where you can get started in conceptualizing your content. You could use an image as your first frame, or you could use a reference image, or you could upload your own assets right here. And then you can go here into your timeline, wherein you could now edit the video. And from here, you could just click here on add. And basically the same thing as we did in the video editor. It's basically the same thing in here. You could just go and upload it right here, and yeah, just edit the video. Basically a video editor. Now let's go for the music video. We can click here on create, and now we'll be presented with 4 choices. First, we have the singing video. So this would be an animated character to sing the audio that you provide. And this one is a narrative video, so this builds a story-driven sequence with scenes that match the mood and lyrics. And we have the visualizer. So it creates an abstract animation synced to the beat and energy of the music. And lastly, we have the lyrics video, which displays animated lyrics on screen, often with background visuals. So for this video, let's try visualizer. And now in here, we can get started by uploading our music, which is up to 5 minutes. Let's click here on select a song. And from here, choose a sample right here. But you could also upload your own by pasting a link. It could be from YouTube or uploading the file itself right here. So I'm just going to go and select one from the sample. So let's say this one. I'm going to click here and select. And I'm just going to go and trim this into just 10 seconds, because if I go for the full version and click on confirm, you'd be able to see that it would take a massive credit to fully create the video. As you can see right here at the bottom, it would take me 3K or 3,000 credits. So I don't want that, and I don't have enough credits. So I would have to go for a shorter one. Anyways, this is just for a tutorial. So I'm going to go for 10 seconds, just a preview, so that you'd be able to see right there. So now I have this. And next is that you can choose a style. In my case, I'll just go for auto style. You can also select specific styles if that's what you want. And I'm going to go enable the one take styles to connect shots so they flow like one seamless take. And then the aspect ratio, I'm going to leave it at landscape. And then advanced options, match video to beat, enabled, show captions, enabled. And then the image model, you can go for Sea Dream, which I think is the best. You could also go for Flux. You could go for Nano Banana, whatever it is that you'd want. So I'll just go for a Sea Dream for this example. And select resolution. You could go for 1080p if you'd want to. But since I am saving credits, I'll just go for 720p. And now I'm going to click here on create video and see what it got for us. Alright, so now here's the result. Let's play it.
Human. No.
So yeah, that's it for our short video in here with the one take effect. And basically, once you have your music video done, you can click here and edit the story if there are some things that you'd want to tweak. And then you'll be prompted here into the editor. As you can see, right here, we have the prompt right here. You could edit that, you could retry it, and there would be a credit right here on how much it would cost you. Retry the video right here if you'd like to retry the video, and so on. So yeah, this is where you'd be able to edit that. This is the storyboard, and then you could go here into the timeline if you'd want to edit it in the video editor. Just like I said earlier, this is where you'd be able to edit like basically the usual, just like you do in any video editing platform. You can have the fade in, fade out here in the audio. On the video, you could go for the video volume, the video speed, and then you have your assets here on the left side. So yeah, this is it for the music video. Alright, so now next one, we have explainer video. Let's click here on create. And from here, we can now paste our voiceover script right here. You can also create your script here with AI if that's what you want. In my case, I already have one, which is just a short one, so that the credit spending would not be too much. And from here is that we have the auto polish script. You could enable that if you want it. And then the choose visual style. So you could choose the visual style you want. In my case, I'm just gonna go for animation and add your character right here. You could add one if you want. So I'm just gonna go for this one. It's Milo, since it's a cat and I am talking about a cat. And next is that you can allow character outfit changes. So I'm just gonna go for yes, and then choose narrator voice right here, and then aspect ratio, and then more advanced options in here. You could go for the auto captions and background music, image model right here. You could just choose that. So you could go for GPT, Flux Dev, basically the same thing earlier, and then select resolution. You can go for 720p, and then select video model. You can go for Kling, and from here you could now create the full video, as you can see right here, but it would cost me 1,000 credits, which is too much. So I'm just gonna skip this one out, because we have a sample for you right here in the stories, and then you just need to go here into community stories, go for explainer videos, and this is where you'd be able to see the videos created here in explainer videos. So this one right here, it's also about a cat. You can click
Cat
on that.
named Whiskers spent her days spying on the lightning-fast mice. She adored the chase, yet a single whisker had never brushed a mouse's tail.
So yeah, this is an example right here, and then you could even see the script, the rewrite script generation detail right here, the voiceover that was used, background music, image model, and video model, and so on. So actually, from here, you could download this, you could even share, and remix the story. And basically, remixing would allow you to copy the full story setup, including scenes, characters, voiceovers, and visual. As you can see, it was automatically pasted right here with the same option. So it is opened in the workspace, so you can edit, swap assets, change text, or add new scenes. So from here, you can just customize it to your own, so it will be like your own. Next one that we have is we have the character vlog. We can click here on create, and now we need to pick our character or star. You could pick two characters, let's say this one, and then go here into pick character 2. Let's say we would want to, and this one will be picking this wizard. And next is that you could choose to allow character outfit changes, yes or no, and then the vlog topic. So let's say that we're just gonna go for one of this pre-made prompts. Let's say coffee shop or coffee chat, or you could go for shopping together, cooking date, travel adventure. Basically, you can just edit it right here as you want. Next is the aspect ratio. We could see that right here. Choose one. Background music. You could go for auto. You could go auto select trending songs, Suno, upload a song if you have one already. Choose from trending songs or no background music. You can choose here. And then the video duration, you can select that right here, as this would greatly affect the credit spending, as you can see. So yeah, be careful with this one. And then the advanced settings. You could go for the image model. You could go for a C-Dream right here. Only C-Dream is available for this one. Video model. You could go for Kling for credit saving. And then we have this the resolution. Once you're done, you can click here on create full video, or you can just go for the storyboard if you just want the storyboard. And basically, the story would look something like this. Let's go here into community stories. And now we'll be going into the vlog, character vlog. And here are the samples right here. So basically, these are the kind of videos that you will be able to create here in character vlog. So here are the videos. Let's go for this cute cat. I'm gonna open that. So yeah, this is the kind of quality that you'd be able to achieve in here. And again, you could also remix this story if you want. You have all the details right here that you need from this specific generation here in character vlog. Alright, so now the last one would be the ASMR video. You can click here on create, and you'll now be prompted in here. Choose the ASMR style that you want. Let's say, I think I would want the cutting one. And from here, you can now describe the scene. You could go for material object, you could go for baked goods, for toys, electronics, glass, clay, whatever it is that you'd want. And then the video format, you can choose for portrait or landscape. And then a number of shots, you can select that right here. This would affect your credit spending a lot. And then the background ambience or background music. And then once you're done with all of this, you can click on create full video, but this is just expensive with 2400 credit spending for just 4 shots. So yeah, it depends if you'd want it. And basically, let me show you the samples in here that we have for ASMR video. So let's go here. And basically this one right here, we could see that this object is being cut. So this is what you will be able to achieve in the ASMR video. So basically cutting anything if that's the style that you have chosen. We also have this. So yeah, that is basically it for the ASMR video. You have more options right here. You could also remix them if you'd want, and some details. So yeah, that is basically it for this video on the detailed overview on the features here in OpenArt. I hope you found this video helpful, and you could use the link in the description for an easier time if you would want to set up your account here in OpenArt, and it's also an affiliate link so you'd be able to help and support our channel. But no pressure, only if you want to use it. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.